Let me ask you this. Have you ever gotten an amp simulator and just found it to be way too thin sounding, too fizzy sounding, or overall way too fake sounding? And this happens. There are a ton of different amp simulators on the market right now, and it's kind of hard to choose the right ones out of the haystack. Also, there are just so many of them that you might start to think robots really are taking over the world. Anyways, if you said yes to any of those things, I think I have the solution for you. Today, we are checking out the brand new Runeforge Fenrir from Solemn Tones. Let's get into it. Solemn Tones has been bringing you some of the best MIDI instruments over the years, including their Loki bass plugin, which I use for just about everything on this channel, actually. It just sounds so damn good. But I am super excited to introduce you guys to the brand new Runeforge Fenrir plugin. This is an amp simulator and Solemn Tones' first entry into the world of amp simulators. It was all captured and created at none other than Sand Lane recording facilities, which are best known for working with artists like Epica and Powerwolf. And all of the amp captures and everything were ran through a Neewer preamp 5052, so you know it's going to be sounding really good and really warm. Before we fully dive into the Runeforge Fenrir, I do want to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by Solemn Tones. They did send me the Runeforge Fenrir and asked me to check it out for you guys, show you guys the lay of the land, and let you know what this plugin is all about. But do keep in mind that any thoughts or opinions are my own. I want to keep this as unbiased as possible. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Welcome to the Runeforge Fenrir, guys. This is the main setup that you are going to see when you go ahead and load up this plugin. And I'm always really excited to see the different aesthetics that each amp simulator that I check out has. And so far, I have not ever been disappointed with it. This is very clean looking, actually. It reminds me of something like an EVH 5150 would look like, especially with the different lines on the grill. Awesome job, Solemn Tones. The aesthetics definitely check out for sure, but let's check out what this amplifier sounds like straight out of the box, what it sounds like right here. Yeah, this definitely does it, guys. This amplifier sounds awesome. It sounds very full, sounds very thick. I'm definitely liking it. It feels good to play also, which is a huge plus. The response and everything is awesome. So on the top here, you're pretty much going to have some of your basic settings. You're going to have your input, your gate, your mono to stereo, your whole signal chain right here, your SD to HD, and your output. And then as far as the SD to HD, if you don't know, if you find that this plugin is just overloading your CPU way too much, just switch it on over to SD and that will take care of the load for you. And then over here on the gate, you'll notice that there is a symbol of a lock. So when that is engaged, it will save all the settings up there, and when you're switching from preset to preset, it will not change your input or your output or anything like that. So if you have that already where you like it and you're switching to different presets, it will not mess it up. Down on the amplifier, you have a gain setting, you have a 3-band EQ, you will have your presence, your level, and a carve switch. And when the carve switch is activated, it will basically give you a low pass filter and a high pass filter, and it will focus the tone. So let's check out what the carve switch sounds like. So this is without it. Okay, and with it. That really cleans it up. I like the carve switch on. I really do. So without it again. And then with it. That's not bad whatsoever. Down below the amplifier is going to be your whole cabinet section. So you'll notice there's not a lot of microphones. There's not a lot of different settings and stuff for you to kind of move the microphones around. So what Solemn Tones really wanted to achieve with this amp simulator was something that was simple, something that was kind of plug and play. They didn't want you to have to mess around with 500 different knobs, and it will come preloaded with 5 different IRs that are already there. And Bugner, that's probably, I'm gonna say it's probably a Bogner cab. They're always resemblance of what they actually are. It's always kind of funny for me to see the different names that they have. So there is 5 different IRs already built into this plugin, and then you can bypass it. So if you have something like, let's say, a Torpedo Wall of Sound plugin, you can bypass this and use that IR loader instead. Or over here on the right, if you have some third-party IRs that you really like to use, you can load them in just right over here. But let's go ahead and check out some of the pedals that we have. All of the signal is going through these pedals before it even touches the amplifier. So you have an EQ pedal, a gate pedal, and a boost pedal, and we will get to the boost pedal here in just a moment, but I want to see how powerful is the EQ. So with it on, okay, so I think it's already set kind of where it is. Let's raise that high a little bit. Okay, I'm hearing it now. So it's not an extremely touchy EQ pedal. It's very user-friendly to where it seems like you can go some pretty extreme lengths and still get a good tone out of it. Yeah, not bad whatsoever. You will have your noise gate, of course, and it has 1 threshold knob, but you guys know me and my noise gates. I absolutely love noise gates. Just cleans up the sound so much more. And then there is the boost pedal. So this boost pedal might look shockingly familiar to a lot of you guys. This is a boost pedal that is the Dirty Tree from Pepper's Pedals. This is a very, very popular boost pedal that is out there, and actually it's definitely a contestant for the best one out there on the market at the moment. This is awesome that they have this incorporated, but keep in mind you can't change any of the settings on this boost pedal on the plugin or turn it on or turn it off because when Solemn Tones captured the amplifier, they already captured it with the color of the boost pedal that is the Dirty Tree from Pepper's Pedals. But they wanted to kind of set it to somewhere that's really nice, and it will add a lot of clarity to 8 strings, to 9 strings, to baritone guitars, anything super low tuned. But do keep in mind that you cannot change any of the settings on this. They already have the color of it already pre-built into this amp simulator. On the other side of the amp simulator, you will have some post effects, which is kind of fun. It's always fun with the post effects. You have your chorus, there's a delay and a reverb. Let's check out what the chorus sounds like. So this is what it sounds like right off the bat. Okay, I can hear it a little bit when I don't bend. It's really hard not to bend my leads. So let's make this a little bit more extreme. Let's add some depth, and let's definitely add some mix into there. Sounds very nice, very smooth. It's not too intense of a chorus, honestly, because if I turn up the mix and turn up the depth here, and as long as I play my parts correctly here, it still is a very, very usable tone. Some choruses go super extreme, and it's almost like a tone that I can't really use, or at least it's not my own personal preference for sure, but that's not bad whatsoever. That's a lot of fun. I like to have a chorus, and if you put a chorus on a lead part, it just like gives it that extra little seasoning, that extra little oomph that is really awesome for it. Let's check out the delay pedal that we have. We have all kinds of different timings that we can do. There's an echo, which I'm going to assume is the feedback pedal. There's mix and a high cut. So let's see here. Okay, it's very, very quiet. Let's see. Let's move it up in the mix. There it is. And then echo. Yes, okay, that is a feedback right there on that. And then a high cut. So let's see, if I move it up. Okay, so that's gonna make the higher frequencies stand out a little bit more. I'm gonna lower that a little bit. Yeah, something like that. That sounds really nice. What are some of the other settings that we have? Let's do the 3:30 seconds. Yeah, it's quick. It's a little bit more slap backy. Let's do a longer one. Okay, so far the quarter note is my favorite. Let's check out the reverb and see what we got going on here. We have a wet setting. There is the size, so size of the room, I'm gonna assume, of the reverb. There's a high cut and then a low cut added to this one. So let's see what it sounds like straight out of the box. Okay. Yeah, kind of a smaller room. It sounds like a room reverb to me. So let's add size to it. Let's wetten it up a little bit. That might be a little bit too much. Let's pull down on the wet there, but I like a big reverb. I like something very ambiotic. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then the low cut, if I raise it. Okay, yeah, if I raise it, it seems to not make it quite as boomy. Nice. So raising that low cut definitely helps out quite a bit. I would probably leave the high cut right where it's at, but this is pretty much it. This is what Solemn Tones wanted to achieve with this amp simulator with the Runeforge Fenrir, was something just a little bit more simple, something more plug and play. But I want to check out really quick before we finish up here. I want to see just how less of gain we can get. So right here, I'm going to assume that's nothing. Yeah, it's like, it's nothing, not very much at all. Let's see, maybe I can raise the level and actually turn off the gate. Okay, so there's just a little bit of that like dirty tree kind of poking through. What happens if I raise the gain just a little bit? Yeah, so it's definitely a high gain amplifier for sure. You can do a little bit of crunchy cleans, but I probably don't recommend that with this amplifier. I definitely recommend just doing straight high gain, like brutal melt your face high gains. And then how much gain does it actually get if I bring it all the way up? I should probably turn on the gate and maybe bring up the threshold a little bit. How crazy can we go with it? It's just a filthy amount of gain. No one needs that amount of gain. Don't do it, guys. Don't. I'm gonna walk you off a ledge right now. Maybe you can do like one higher. Cool. You know, it all sounds awesome. It was definitely plug and play, but this is the Runeforge Fenrir. So what do I think of the Runeforge Fenrir from Solemn Tones? I think Solemn Tones is able to check off just about every single box that they set out to check off. As far as the tone goes, you guys heard it for yourselves. Right out of the box, it sounded absolutely massive. It sounded very thick, and it was not a thin sounding amp simulator whatsoever. And then as far as the response goes, it felt great to play through this amp simulator, and something that I'm always looking for is whenever I check out an amplifier or an amp simulator is how is the distortions growl. So when you hold out a chord and there's that little tail of your chord and then there's that growl that's in there of the distortion, how does that sound overall? Well, it sounded great in this amp simulator. So Solemn Tones, you can definitely mark off that box for me as well. And then the overall simplicity of the plugin is something that Solemn Tones really wanted to achieve, was something that was not overwhelming, something that you could go in there and not have to mess around with 500 different knobs and just move stuff around and all of that. And I think they created a really great balance with the Runeforge Fenrir. It was just complex enough to where a seasoned player can go in there and shape their tone and sculpt their tone, but simple enough to where someone that is newer to guitar can go in there and still mess around with it and get a great tone no matter what they do. So I think Solemn Tones did a great job on this plugin. If you guys are wanting to get your hands on the Runeforge Fenrir from Solemn Tones, I will have the link for that down in the description below. And please let me know down in the comments, what did you guys think of the overall tones that we were getting today? I really appreciate that this amp simulator is not a thin sounding amp simulator. I think it sounds very thick, very full, and it is definitely some nice face melting high gain tones. Also capturing the overall analog sound of the amplifier and the dirty tree pedal together, I think is absolutely killer. It just sounds so good. But anyways, if you guys are enjoying my videos in any way, shape, or form, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton here on the channel. And with that being said, my name is Chris with High Impact Audio, and I will see you guys next time.